Like I'm playing a racing game. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome, YouTube pipe smokers. I hope you're having a great night. I'm all briared up. I've been enjoying a smoke. I made a blend. It's pretty good. Hits a lot of good spots. I keep finding that when I do make a blend, I get more and more where it just has to be exceptional. But this one was, to be fair, it was very good in its own right. It had some Smyrna Turkish, some dark fired, just a little pinch of Lane BCA, and a little bit of Perique, and that was really, really good. White ash, smoking good all the way to the bottom, mouth watering. Hint of fruitiness from the BCA, but it's not. The BCA didn't take over, but it. I gotta fix the room note. So I know my wife isn't a big fan of English blends, and I've made a couple she does like, but I went ahead and smoked mine, and normally she's down here with me, and the smoke goes up. She doesn't smell it. Hey DDT, good to see you again, buddy. Thank you, Dingus. I appreciate the compliment. The pipe looks good too. Thank you. Hey Jeff, good to have you in, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you guys. Share a smoke with you, or if you can't smoke at that time, smoke for you. Anyway, my wife was upstairs. She came down into the English cloud, and she did not like it. I smoked something else. She didn't like that either. So now my mission is to make the room smell good. Although she did say this smelled like a little bit like vanilla to her. Oh, Ben Stiller, right? I haven't seen that forever. I saw it about a couple years ago. Now our cat's going to tell you all about it. You're right there, DDT. Although I did, like I said, I did make a couple blends she likes that are Balkan, even in English. But man, that was a straight deal, and it was Orientals and Latakia. So it tasted great, it smelled great. It was the Peter Stokeby 313 Oriental with TS12 Sutliff Latakia, and 60 Oriental and 40 on the Latakia, and she enjoyed it. When she was sitting by me, when she can occasionally get a little smell, but I think it was just too much. Dark Lord, how you doing, buddy? We got Donald Hughes in. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you guys. I think I missed somebody. I'm going to make sure. And Mike, I knew somebody was in there I was missing. Good to see you, brother. Today is going good, man. My dad and I got a lot done in my garage. Dismounted everything, basically everything off the walls. There's one cabinet left. We'll have to take it down for insulation, but I think we'll do that closer to the end because it's one that's going to go right back up. Oh, dang, Donald. But it's been a good day, man. It was one heck of a morning. Had the jitters. I almost woke up at 6:30. I was feeling pretty good. I started to move, and it was just my body's going, "Nope, you're not ready." And that was difficult, but was able to get going around 9 or so. Um, got outside a little bit after 11, and for a good few hours, my dad and I burnt just papers. You get stuff with addresses and such. We gather and burn it, and it was a good day for that. It was supposed to be warmer today than yesterday, and it wasn't. But we moved around a lot. We're plenty warm. We're out of the wind in the shop. He backed the truck right up to it so we could throw trash in there. And man, I swept, got rid of all sorts of stuff. We had coons in there that got empty cat food cans all over. So got that all swept up and animal stuff swept up. And now it's pretty dang clean. We found all the little spaces between some of the boards on the walls. So we're gonna put caulking and metal in there and keep all the mice out. And then we'll have easy chairs and insulation and outlets galore. And it's going to be a really nice place. What do those ones look like, Donald? I've heard of them being pretty poisonous. I've heard of the moth ones. I used to know quite a bit about caterpillars a long time ago. DDT. I was like, is that a little wrench? It's a caterpillar. Oh man, DDT, you set me up for it. That's what she said. Hey Todd, how you doing, brother? Good to have you. Always nice to see you and your sister. Good to have her joking with us, as always. Just smoking a little bit of Smyrna Turkish, dark fired, a pinch of BCA, and some Perique, and it was pretty darn good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a hairy one, but I'm usually wrong with those. Those are the ones I avoid. They look cool and you want to pet them, but I know a lot of them, if they got hairs, you stay away from them. I knew that was the last of that bowl, but that's all right. But anyway, yeah, Dark Lord, it's been a good day, man. It got really good after I got going more, things calmed down, and it felt good to be feeling pretty good. I mean, my dad was ready to quit because it was getting cold, and I was taking off sweater after sweater because I was getting warmed up, and we got a lot done. Um, I think if we had one day, we could just do a bunch of cleaning one more day. We're gonna have the place fumigated to make sure all the bugs are gone. We do get spiders out here. It's in the country, and occasionally we get black widows. But they really like when you have boards leaning up against walls. Like flies will go in there to kind of keep warm enough and protected, and you'll end up with hundreds of black widows between those boards. And that was the most I had seen one year, and I was able to kill all the ones I could see. I don't think any of them got away. Um, but since they had been in the shop, and that shop's been there for a long, long time. So we'll fumigate, we'll bleach clean, we'll power wash, we'll do everything to that. Put tin and metal in the walls and get it insulated, get electricity up, get a new side door on, and then we'll put more of a ceiling on it and insulate that too and have cove heaters. It's going to be really good. Good ventilation system. We're we're working on different windows. My dad said, "Man, these windows aren't worth a dang," so we're gonna have them half the size and just figure that out as we go. So all the work together, I think it's about 4 days worth of work. It's just gonna be spread out a bit because you got to wait on our contractors are really good, but um, electrician, we got to line all that up, but most of the hard work is done. Got a couple things. I got to wait 1 week at least so I can throw stuff away again because we filled the dumpster. So about one more dumpster load worth, and we're done there. And found some tools that had been missing, so that was good. Oh, there you go. About the size of a thumbnail. Okay. I was imagining them bigger, but then again, I've watched a lot of Discovery Channel and nature stuff where they're always close up on stuff, so you never really realize sometimes the size of things till you see them yourself. Yeah, I remember you saying that, Todd. You've got oh, what was that other blend? Oh, nice, Donald. Yeah, we had one we used for a long time, and man, that guy would gouge you. He's a bigot. He just runs his mouth all the time. You give him a job, and he goes, "Oh, I'm too old to be climbing here or doing this." Acts like he's retired, talks like he's retired, but he's old enough to be retired. We said, "Why don't you just retire then instead of going around moping around to everybody?" Because this ain't a big place, so he's rubbed people the wrong way. So he doesn't have as many jobs as he used to, and we knew him pretty closely, and he gouges you. My dad was doing the friendly thing and saying, "Hey, let's here I'll get extra work and stuff," and every point he was taking advantage of my dad, and my dad knows a good electrician he's going to have do it instead, but the contractors we have are the other way around. They do a good job. They give you a reasonable price. They're fast, and they do a good job. And if they make a mistake, they're back and they fix it and they're done. The only mistake they ever made was they had a guy running a drywall saw for the first time, and he cut a little too far. They came back, patched it up, done. That was it. So I got no problems with them. They've helped us a lot. It's been a very good deal. Oh yeah, Amphora Burley. That was the one in the vanilla cream. Yeah, vanilla cream, man. Those are both blends I hear that are really good. How you doing, Ganji? Good to have you in, buddy. So, Monclot, are you smoking tonight, or what was the last thing you smoked this evening? I gotta smoke something I haven't smoked in a while, or blend something. I don't know what to smoke yet. That's my problem. Englishes sound really good tonight, and it's probably because my wife doesn't like the smell of them. Yeah, man, and Balkans. I'm gonna have to do some sort of blending. I'm gonna blend a little of this in something. HH Pure Virginia. Virginia. Oh, I agree, Mike. I understand, man. That is hard. See, I'm supposed to smoke 2 to 3 times a day, and that's from doctors. That's from my neurologist. And yeah, when you don't feel good or your nose is messed up, your sinuses are messed up, it ruins it. Makes it difficult to want to smoke. You know, you're sitting there going, I want to, but heck, sometimes you're like, I don't even care right now. But we'll use a little bit of this pure Virginia. We'll make something good happen. Maybe some sort of vapor kind of blend. Scald with an with brown flake, the aromatic version. I've heard that that one does smell very good. How's it treating you? Oh, there you go, Mike. Yeah, and this pure Virginia is really nice. It's at a really good point in moisture. It's going to be barely springy. It's not too moist, just kind of falls apart, but moist enough to stay together when you're looking at the flake. So really, it's already broken up. It took nothing. I mean, you ding near pinch the thing and it fall apart. So it's pretty nice. Luxury twist. And I'm going to be smoking some of the stuff you sent me, Mike. Your blends are like Coca-Cola. Like you may not drink pop for a while, but then you start craving some. So I'll do that pure Virginia, just a pinch of Lane BCA because that's been treating me real good. Sounds good, Todd. Yeah, I need to smoke more. I get my hair to lay down. Look at that. Got the alfalfa thing going on. It's like alfalfa and Superman. It's like a curly alfalfa point. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm not going to argue. I still have the hair at least today. Smells great while smoking. That's like Bayou Morning. That stuff smells so grassy. I'm like, why do I ever smoke this? But then when I'm smoking it, I'm like, why don't I smoke this more? It smells good. Sounds good. Sounds good. I can't talk. I'm yawning here. All right, now I need a little Perique. Yeah, I got good and tired. Heck, yesterday we did some cleaning. We burnt a bunch of stuff for a long time, and it just feels good to clean stuff out, you know. And most of the stuff we were just waiting on the dumpster to be emptied so we could fill it up, and then we were waiting on the right weather to put stuff in a burn barrel, and that's really been what's held us up. We had everything sorted a long time ago, ready to go. We were going to give some things away, and we had them boxed and taped up in the garage. It was fine. We had taken stuff to Goodwill, things like that, but the man got into some of that and just wrecked it. Made a big mess, and of course, picking up cat food cans, and my cat's like, let's and knock it over. That cat had never tipped that thing over, and she's like, I want to be inside of that. I'm like, you got a can of food in it. She's got addicted to eating or something where she's sitting, gotta just smell the tin. It's like me with tobacco. Yeah, case of the yawns. I don't even feel that tired. It's been a good day, man. It's hard to be able to say that a lot. Then parents are gonna take us out to eat soon, one of these days, and it's gonna be good. So this is pure Virginia. It's actually mostly Virginia, little bit of BCA. I should do a little more Perique, or maybe I'll do a pinch of Dark Fire. It'll be some kind of funky vapor. Because Dark Fired is very nice in a blend, especially if the blend has Perique. It brings it out a little more. I had some Dark Burley, and I wasn't feeling it that much. Like, it was great, but I wasn't feeling the nicotine hit. Which is probably why I'm yawning now. Nicotine makes me sleepy. But I'm gonna smoke this in my meerschaum, I think, here. Better give it a little cleaning. I've been getting better at keeping pipes clean. As I say that, I remember I do have two that like have a quarter of a bowl left to smoke. I need to smoke them up and then clean them out. Oh, this is clean. Pretty clean. So are you smoking anything, Ganji? There we go. Looks like this is pretty good. I didn't have much at all on it, so just want to make sure. I'm gonna have a all luxury twist flake. Love that stuff. That and Newminster Superior, those are two of my favorites. Peter Heinrichs is very good. Dang, that must have been the right pipe because I thought I blended a little too much for a pipe, and this meerschaum fits the whole blend perfectly. Maybe a little too perfectly. Boom! That's going. We are golden. Oh, I believe it, man. Oh, that is good. I knew I'm going to have to do a relight. That's all right. Yeah, Sudlift Virginia slices are good pretty much anytime. Mm-hmm. That it does. Holy crap, this is good. That's what I needed. I needed a vapor. And with pure Virginia, it's really good because you can taste it all. You can still taste the Virginia and still taste the Perique. It's awesome. It's like perfect. It's just one stick of Virginia, and then Perique and just a pinch of BCA. Oh, and some dark fired. So the dark fired Kentucky and the Perique together are about the same as amount as the Virginia on its own. But this is working. This is nice. So a lot of vapors I've had are just too much of a Virginia that isn't good to me. But pure Virginia is one of the Virginias that works well with me anyway. Oh yeah, definitely. If you can do it, go with the pound, man. Because when you when you break into it down the road, you're gonna wish you had more. Yeah, yeah. A few years, get some sugar crystals on there, be in heaven. And the difference is so crazy. That's one of the best things about Virginias. They age so well, and some of them are phenomenal right off the bat. But when you have them aged, you're like, how is this much better when it was great to begin with? And Perique, I like all the time. I don't. I do have some whole leaf aging of pretty much about every kind. Latakia, Perique, Virginia, two Virginias, Kentucky. Something else. And that's cellaring in the bags, in another bag. I do have some in a jar. I'm trying to get more to it, but on the days I've had that have been good days, weather permitting, I'm working on that garage. Oh, nice. Well, not nice for the first part, but nice for the second part. I'm waiting to taste the cardboard. I'm waiting to taste that transition with the Perique. But so far, it's just burning to a nice white ash. That's awesome. That's perfect for me. I'm getting to the point now when once I've packed a bowl, no matter how I packed it, sometimes I can tell early on if there's something a little off in the packing. And this was just a little off, but it's not going to ruin it. Yeah, and you guys are going to have a nice, as long as everything goes to plan, weather-wise and stuff. We'll have a nice surprise early January. And I am extremely ecstatic for that because there's a trade going on and I'm anxious for the recipient to get theirs. Oh, and I found something cool. I thought of you, Ganjuana. When I was cleaning the garage, I found just 2 point of antler. That's not enough for a pipe or anything like that, but I saw it, and that's how you know I've been smoking pipes too long. Is when I go, "Oh, Dad, I could turn that into a couple of antler tampers." But I don't know if I'll do that or if I'll just keep it. It's been around a while and might just keep them to hang in the shop. Because you know, when you got a shop and you're comfortable in there, you got to put some kind of decorations up on the wall. And I don't put decorations really on these walls because the room's fairly new. I'm so nervous about putting a nail into it or something and just messing up the wall or a screw or whatever. I know you could drill out a pilot hole and do all that, but I'm nervous about hanging anything in here because it's a nice wall. I don't want to mess it up. Well, that stuff's it's only like that big around, man. It'd be like the world's tiniest antler pipe. I mean, this would be like something off a jackalope. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty dang small. I don't know how I'd make a pipe out of it. But I am going to ask when we have neighbors that come and hunt deer in a couple years. I'll ask if they have any antlers, if there's any they'd be willing to part with. This is a nice vapor. Got that little bit of coolness from the BCA that's just perfect. That's true. That's true, Montclair. Yeah, this one, well, and I would imagine honestly that if you bought half a rack for 25 bucks, we'll say just 25, you could get tampers out of it that sell for more than that. Nice. Honestly, it would probably be a good pipe for that, not much else. Maybe that'd be one I'd mess with tampers. And I'm so anxious to get that shop done. I'm telling you, because I got more tampers to make, and it's just or Adam Sandler said, that's right. Oh, Rob Schneider's one of my favorite actors, man. Nice, Ganji. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. Because the weather sucks, man. For whether it's too hot or too cold, it's no good for working on tampers. Because I go out there, my dad's got nice heaters. We got a heater, like just a foot heater, and then he has an overhead heater, and the two of those together help. But when it gets really cold, especially if it's windy, no insulation in a tin shop, that's just too much to be working on metal tampers. But I want to make some wood tampers and some metal tampers some more. I got to finish. I still have to finish some for I got to make a snake one the rest of the way. You can do it. You can do it all night long. That was a great movie too. But I'm going to have everything there. Yep. We got a new garage door on it, a new steel roof on it. It's going to have a new side door, insulation, electric outlets, all that stuff. We're going to use it for a wood shop, and we're going to have, then I can work on that kind of stuff. I want to make pipes. I got to finish the first one I'm working on. I got to work on a couple more. This is the start of the first one. And I want to keep that on it. That looks cool. And then I've got two other blocks I'll make into pipes, and then my dad and I have plans to make pipes. He's got pipe stain, all that stuff. It's all set up. We just gotta get it going. Just gotta finish a shop, move some tools over. We'll have some comfy chairs in there. So it's imperative we, take care of it first. Get all the bugs, make sure no mice can get in, put out a couple traps anyway in case. It is. It's gonna be, yeah, like the pipe grotto. It's gonna be a man cave. Oh yeah, but we need to have the garage door there. But we're gonna have cove heaters, man. It's gonna be set. When I'm in there, like all the stuff will be away from the door, the far end. But it's a new door. They did a great job. A lot of the heat loss is through the dang stinking windows we have in there. Not great windows. Breeze goes through them. So we're gonna take care of that. Patch the holes in the walls. Heck, it doesn't even matter we have the garage door, because wherever the wind comes from, we have holes in the building. Oh, I got you. I wondered what where you're getting at with that. To help keep the cold off from the door. I got you. Keep the heat in. That's a good idea, man. I will definitely do that. We've got some of the perfect materials for that stuff too. We have old blankets that would be ideal for that. We have a really big blue blanket, a really old one. I mean, that sucker's probably at least 25 years old. It'd be good for that. Yeah, she's. At first, they said, "Don't kill Marcia like you know the person," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I already did." This restream is cool because I can block them on here or on YouTube or both. So I did both. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be Marcia. That's my brain at work. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. My brain works harder than I do. See, I too. My brain works harder than E too. So it gets tired. Ganji, you'll have a place to hang out, man. A nice, warm, insulated shop, good lighting. Of course, if I'm in there, it'll be in the dark, but I'm going to have art studio stuff. I'm going to have a pipe cabinet, woodworking stuff. It's going to be awesome. Here's a story of a trolling lady who's dropped phishing links into the chat for Ganji found her and removed her and fed her to his cat. Then this one day came a fellow in some weird suit who was following his detective's hunch. And then Ganji added him to the pile, and that became the Grave Bunch. See, it works. Yeah, we're going to try to do one with doors, all that good stuff, keep anything out, so I can have a lot of pipes out there. And then I'll take some of my jars for cellaring out there. Because like some of these, I have 2 to 4 jars, so I could keep one in here, have the others out there, and then that'd be a better place to cellar them anyway. And then that gives me more room in here, so win-win there. And then I have some just hand tools a neighbor gave me when he passed, and I'd like to have mine in my shop and have those to use, and that'd make more room in my dad's shop, so it'd just work out on every level. Yeah, that'd be cool, Ganji. You come hang out, we hide out there in the winter. Smoke a pipe, mess with stuff. It'd be fun. Uh-oh. Yeah, Dan, that's my problem. I've got this glasses case full. I take pipes out of it. I sometimes put them back, but I use several pipes through the week. And so I've got, estates and a couple of bigger pipes up here. They're piled nicely, so they aren't like going to scratch or mess anything up, but it's still, I'd like to put some pipes in a nice closed cabinet, ones I'm not going to use for that week or whatever. Hey, Glum Chum Piper, how you doing, brother? Yeah, that's why my dad will build them. Because if I get into thinking measurements and messing with that stuff, it'll be too many thoughts. And I'll go through it, figure it out, go to write something down, and then I can get lost and I'll re-go through all the same steps. I won't get anywhere. And then I end up concentrating too much and staring into space. So doing good, buddy. Doing good. renovating my garage, so we've been talking about that a bit. It's going to be good in the summer, good in the winter. It's just going to be good. Ready for it, man. I got blends to make, to send people. I got pipes to make, tampers to make, maybe even pipe racks. Who knows? The possibilities are endless if my dad's helping me. This is a sort of vapor I threw together. It's a flake of pure Virginia by H&H McBaron with some just a pinch of Lane VCA and then peppery Perique with some Old Dark Fired, and the two of those match about the size of the Virginia flake. And it's pretty darn nice. It's smooth, it's cool and warming at the same time. But it's a good one. It's not quite as peppery as my pepper blend or my stout vapor blend, but it's very good. It's making me drool. Has very nice taste. The Perique transition finally, and very tasty. Hint of spice. And that's one thing my brain does. I wish it would stop. Whenever I say the word spice, I always think of an Australian accent saying space, like spice, out of spice. And my mind goes right into that while I'm saying it. So then I'm like, how did I say that? Everett, good to see you in, brother. How's Haunted Bookshop? And my cat keeps looking at me like, you didn't put the footrest up. That's the deal. If I'm not in your chair, you got to put the footrest up so I know it's time to hang out with you while you smoke. I packed this pipe poorly. I just did. Packed it poorly. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat. That's his quiet meow, and he's downstairs. The Haunted Bookshop is just fine. Oh, sounds cool, Dan. That sounds really good. I got packages to get out. I got one. The person will get, we're going to do a trade early January. That's awesome, Dan. That's our 20-year-old cat. that fell from the garage rafters a couple years ago, and he's doing as good as he can do. He's doing pretty good. He has trouble with stairs. He gets disoriented about every couple steps. But he's just happy as a lark. Just hangs out. He's got the whole basement to roam around. He likes to sleep, and we cleaned out this. My brother had this really cool. It sounds like it's not really a carrier. And you say carrier, and people think, oh, you keep an animal in the carrier. But it was for his pit bull, and it was bed, basically. So the cat feels safe sleeping in that, but it's huge, man. My recliner could dang near. Yeah, we keep the gate removed off the thing. We had it propped open. And the other day, my wife was giving him more food, and the gate bumped closed, so we just removed it. So, but he's happy, and that's the important thing. He runs around and does what he wants to do, gets to be a cat, goes in, takes naps, then you'll find him playing. So it's a very free to come and go as he pleases kind of thing. Then we have a window open, so there's always fresh air, and she'd take him out today anyway. But he's very happy. He's a good cat. He's living his golden years here. That drawer sounds terrible. My wife did you guys a favor. She has this dresser. Now, this is a dresser from way back. It was given to her really nice from her sister. And it's showing its age. I mean, And so one of the drawers just lets a creak out. But it's held up a long time. DDT said that his cat was giving him a look like, what the heck are you doing, when he heard our cat through the... Yeah. Monclaude says his cat loves him differently than everybody else in the family. He says, I have pet her less than 5 times total. She's 4 years old, but I'm the one who feeds her, lets her in and out all day. I get respect. They're from a dang cat. Oh, another cat. I feed Benny. Yeah, that's true. So you guys all know Latakia Dave. And he my wife, she's amazing. She takes care of the cats. She is so damn good with animals. And the one she feeds, she's the one that feeds them all and takes good care of them, and she's the one that he jumps and claws. She's been scratched a couple times, but generally it's an accident. He jumps up, kind of just gets her, and then runs off. Just like a playful thing. It's a playful kind of thing. He likes me most of the time too now, but when he doesn't like me all the time, because when he gets he'll get, like, you can tell when a cat's kind of getting anxious or just extra playful or wants to be alone. They need their cat time, Oh, but he's really nice to you. Yeah. But if he gets upset or an attitude, which has only been twice, I threaten to throw him outside, then he goes downstairs and takes a nap. That's it, Monclaude. Only outside in the neighbor's flowers. And hey, flowers need fertilized. You're doing them a favor. They don't even know it. Maybe they do know it. Oh gosh, Ganji. She's probably smacking him like, why aren't you a cat that I can have babies with? You're the daily food man. Yeah, my wife's better with pets. I'm good with them. I know how much food they need, so I give them their. Of course, then I get a soft spot, so I'm like, I'm going to give them the food for the day, and then I end up giving them, morning and night, and she checks on them all the time. But our other cat can come up the stairs. He does whatever, and we have a litter box, but you wouldn't know it. My wife keeps that all clean. We got a vacuum down there, everything, and just in case any gets flicked anywhere, but because that's not the older cat's fault. That isn't his fault. He can't. His motor skills aren't right, but he's still remarkably clean for being through what he'd been through. And yeah, she's good. She checks on him a lot through the day, and sometimes we take him outside, or she'll go downstairs and play with him because he can't come up the stairs, or she'll bring him up the stairs and he'll play for a while. And yeah, he's totally happy. He knows he's retired, and he would not survive outside. He gets disoriented so fast. If we were to set him out, well, heck, when we realized he had fallen, like during that time period, he was right outside the entrance, and it wasn't even a door; it's just a hole in the door. And he couldn't negotiate his way there or navigate. He couldn't figure it out. He just had that trauma, and so he wouldn't survive outside. So he's been a loyal, great cat to her for a long, long time, and she had him since a kitten. And we take care of our animals. That's just what you do. Yeah, she's had him since middle school, and been a good cat. Monclaude says, "I bear wrestle with the big dog, or I'll bear wrestle with a big dog, but little things, no thanks. I'm good." We like big animals. I think Dan says my cat is obese. Our cat is too. He sweeps the floor when he runs by with his little swinging paunch. But he's got special food he's got to have, and the nice thing is too, one, he isn't a cat that would shed much, but the food he needs to eat also helps contain shedding. So he's doesn't hardly shed at all, if any. But we had a few little dogs, and we got a couple left here doing good. And I think the next step is a bigger dog. And it'd be really fun to have a big dog come hang out with you in the shop. And I don't want a huge one. I mean, if you think of it this way, to put it in perspective, our 3 little dogs, we check their food, we give them fresh water every day. I know I'm not done. But we had our 3 little dogs at the time. They'd clear a food bowl out, food bowl. I can't talk tonight. Food bowl out in 3 days. And occasionally they eat more, especially if it's cold. They'd go out and run all over the place. They love playing in snow and stuff, and they'd eat a little more. You burn calories more in the cold because you're keeping warm. And when we had 3, my brother's pit bull ate 3 times as much as those dogs ate. And then for a summer, we had a Malamute Shepherd mix. That dog was massive. We called him Duke, like John Wayne, but you could have called him Bear. It just beautiful. I mean, I set up a really nice shelter for him and all that stuff, and he didn't sleep in it. He balled up in the snow, and he'd follow me everywhere like it was nothing. I'd run tractor a mile away, he'd be right there. He'd be playing with cattle femurs, any old bones in the pasture, and he'd bound over massive irrigation ditches like it was nothing. And his owners came and found him, but he ate 4 or 5 times what the pit bull ate. So we went through 50-pound bags of food in no time. And Malamute is part, bless you, part wolf and another type of dog that, they generally are used for sled dogs. And then it had the shepherd mix. It was a big dog. And man, what an awesome dog. But that was his owners came by and they were able to find him one day. We let everybody know that we had him. And then that was it. He spent the summer with us, and his owners came down the road and found him, and he just ran right over, jumped in, and that was it. And so it was a happy ending. It was fun for us. But I would like to have something like a German Shepherd just kind of around. It's always good to have a big dog around the place. And, you never know. We always say we'd like a German Shepherd, but if we end up with a dog we rescue from somewhere that's a nice age, that's more calmed down but would still guard the place, kind of hang out at your feet while you're working on something, that sounds nice too. Oh, Dan said his cat used to steal their elderly dog's food. But
my cat did that when it was a kitten.
Oh yeah.
It would get in its dish and lay in it so the other dogs can't get it.
In the dog's dish?
And
that cat? Tippy?
Yeah, he'd get in.
Oh, so my wife said when her 20-year-old cat was little, it'd lay in the dog's food bowl and sprawl out so they couldn't get their food, and then she'd eat it.
No, he would eat his food because his food was right next to the dog's.
Oh, so he would lay on their food and eat his food.
And so the dogs would be like this, just waiting for him.
The dogs just waiting. That's cute. And then our cat Latakia Dave would go in, and we were wondering, how's he gaining weight while he was eating the other cat's food. We got that taken care of, and what we do is when Dave's up here napping, my wife will go down and feed that cat, and or make sure he can, helps him eat sometime. You just separate them and. Oh, DDT wants another big dog, but his wife wants a little non-shedding dog.
I like little dogs. I wouldn't mind having a big dog.
I'd like a big dog that loves to be outside. We got such a huge dog run that if it was a dog that, you didn't know if it was going to go on the road or not overnight, it could be in there. I mean, it's got everything. It's got a concrete base, and then it has plenty of dirt for the dog to run on. It's huge. Yeah. Grass and then it's got insulated dog house, so it's all set up. We just need the dog. Oh yeah, Mike said sister had a big Anatolian Shepherd. Thing was just a notch too big, but he was gorgeous and 100% outdoor. My uncle still farms, and he had a dog that was bit by a rattlesnake and died. And that dog saved his life. Like, the snake was striking at him, and he jumped in front of him, and killed the snake, and the dog got bit and died. And now my uncle has them, I guess, vaccinated, antivenom, and they just get a little light, kind of almost like dog flu for a couple days, but then it, like when they get bit. But his place has rattlesnakes all over, like not right by his house, but within a mile or two away, there's snakes around. So if his dogs get bit, they come by, they have a real sleepy day or two, and they don't feel good, and then they live. So, but that was his best dog. She was with him in the truck all the time and farming with him, riding in the tractor. I mean, everything with him. But man, this garage, we're gonna have an air compressor in it. We're gonna have.
You made it smell better than her.
I did. I've tried. I made a vapor blend with not as much Perique that's peppery to bother you, and then I have some Cavendish in it.
I sneezed earlier.
That's probably why you sneezed.
So I was like, I don't have any reason to be sneezing.
Oh, DDT said someone beat him to an adoption for a dog. They were looking at rescue dogs last week and almost got a pit bull corgi mix.
Aww.
That would be really cute, actually, named Betty, but someone else adopted her first. Well, at least she got a home. I can't be mad at those times. Someone beat you to them.
Sometimes some people adopt them and then they only.
Sometimes they foster them for a short time. They end up doing her.
Or they just decide it's not the right one and they take it back to the shelter too.
Yeah, my wife said sometimes people adopt a dog and it just doesn't work out for them and they go back to the shelter. So you still may have it as an option later down the road.
That happens a lot with dogs.
Yeah, my mother and father-in-law, pretty much all of their pets are always rescue animals. And they have some of the best dogs.
All of them, but like one of them.
All but like one, and they've had a lot of dogs over the years.
Yep. Well, no, wait, I lied. 3 of them.
Oh, 3 of
When
them?
I was little, 2 of them they bought from someone. And then.
Oh, 2, her parents, when she was little, 2 of them, 2 of the dogs they bought from someone.
My brother, sister, they were like the only ones left, so they don't want to separate them, so
they bought the 2 dogs so they didn't separate a brother from a sister.
And then when I got older.
And she got older and they had another one.
And then they bought one. Well, no, actually it was free. But, you know, it wasn't really a rescue animal. But all the other ones were.
DDT says a jumping box with air holes under the tree would be nice. Oh, that's freaking cute, man. Monclot says, I don't want to cause a divorce, though. It ended up being like a puppy that would grow big, I'm sure.
I don't like doing the potty training with dogs, though.
Yeah, the potty training would be hard. That'd be the good thing about a bigger dog that's already got a little age. What's that?
But sometimes with the shelter ones, you still have to potty train them.
Yeah.
Because depending on the owners before.
Yeah, you never know. It's like the little black dog we have that she rescued. Someone dumped in the country, so she saw it on the way home and grabbed it, and that dog took 3 years, and it's still a little skittish. But as long as I'm near, or my wife's near, it's good.
He's the good one.
Oh, not today.
Not today?
When you went into town,
yeah,
and my dad was with me, both dogs I had out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad took the truck over to the dumpster,
Yeah.
and our dogs, if we're in like 50 yards, they know they have a zone to stay around. And my dad was by the dumpster near the road, so they had to cross the road and follow the cat.
Oh, I didn't know.
So I grumbled at them all. They all came back like, we didn't do it. And then the cat, I picked up the cat, and she would give me a look like, what'd I do wrong? And I'm like, you're the trouble causer. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, thanks for joining us, brother. Pleasure to share a pipe with you. Great talking to you, bud. You have a good night, man. Enjoy your week. And Merry Christmas to all of you anyway, even though it's not, well, I guess it is kind of close, but Merry Christmas to you guys. I hadn't said that, and I always mean to say it. But no matter what you celebrate, Merry Christmas, happy whatever. I hope you have a great time. Just want to say that while I see you guys. Yeah, Christmas will be good. We'll be here mostly this year, and we'll be doing a lot of local kind of travel, but we don't have to do any big trips. And I do like big trips, but I'm sure you guys know too, when you're driving 4 hours or more back and forth to see lots of people, it wears on you. You know, my wife drives all the time now, and it's taxing on you. And I like to drive. When I drove, I used to drive. If we had to go to the other end of the state, I'd just start in the evening, pick up a meal for in the car, and drive overnight there. So it helped. If we had to go a long distance, I was like, let's just do it in one shot. But it's good to slow down a bit and have family in between to stay. That helps. But it's going to be a nice year. We haven't had to travel much this year for Thanksgiving. Thank goodness, because that's usually crazy. Christmas is usually pretty easy. We may drive some years to see people, but we don't. Everybody schedules around things, you know. It's you show up, that's Christmas. If we aren't at Christmas right on Christmas Day, it's not a big deal. We see people before Christmas, after Christmas, during Christmas, you know. But last year was nice because we had our Christmas here. Christmas Day, that was a nice day. Merry Christmas to you too, Peterson Piper. Great to have you with us, brother. That's Gerald. His channel's name is. Yeah, his channel name's now Peterson Piper. Gerald Flood, Ireland. Yeah. Just to have a channel name.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Which you chose a great pipe brand. I love Peterson's. I have 3 and they are amazing. There's some people that say, well, it's hit or miss sometimes. But I feel like that's almost all pipe brands. You know, you can get a great smoke in anything. You can get a great smoking Bones pipe and a bad smoking $1,400 pipe. He said made in Dublin, just like me. That's awesome, buddy. So what are you smoking tonight? Myself, I'm smoking a little bit of a vapor I threw together with some pure Virginia flake, I like a pinch of BCA, which is pretty nice with it, and peppery Perique, and then what is the other one I threw in there? Some dark fired Kentucky. And it's been a while since I really had one of my own vapors. And I like my vapors. I like my vapors versus somebody else's vapors made. I like my own better. And I fixed the room note. See, Gerald, when I normally smoke Englishes or Balkans, my wife is with me, in the same room, so the smoke goes up. She doesn't smell it that much. She was upstairs. She came down into the room, so she smelled the smoke from that layer going. She walked in at face level and goes, "Man, this room smells bad." So I had to make it smell better. Had a cigar earlier, a horrible taste. Oh yeah, I understand. Sometimes even a good blend, you can enjoy the smoke and you get a weird aftertaste, and it may not even be a bad blend. Where'd that match go? Oh. And we're working on my shop, Gerald. We're gonna get it done sometime reasonably soon. So you'll have a place to come stay when you don't feel like being in Ireland for a week or so. Oh, heck yeah, man. If you do, lunting videos are awesome. They're really peaceful to make. I've done walks and I've got a playlist. I'm sure it's like scenery included or something. And you can see some of the land near us, and it's gorgeous. How's the weather in Dublin? Is it chilly? Oh, wow. So Gerald took 2 weeks holiday on the 28th, so he's through New Year's off, and then he's going to Portugal.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. I've never been, so I don't have any insight to give you, but
Gonna go there for like a vacation,
I think so. That'll be cool, man. Oh, he said not too cold. Storm last week was bad.
winter storm.
Was there some snow, or was it like a real bad wind and rain kind of storm? We had 6 inches of snow the other day, and then we had a nice day, and then nice day before that. Then just a couple of really cold days. Yesterday was cold enough. So my dad and I made plans to work on our garage together and for today, and then it was colder today, but
Tomorrow's gonna be worse.
But we moved around a lot. Tomorrow's going to be windy and cold. And I'm just not in the mood for wind.
Might rain a little, might snow a little.
We got little bits of snow here while you're in town, too.
Oh.
My dad was saying we should quit soon.
Yeah.
And it was little, just almost mist, but you could tell it was snow. Only for 10 minutes, it wasn't bad. But.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just very windy and a lot of rain. He said he's never been to Portugal either. He's going to go fishing. Princess can go shopping, LOL. That's how it works for us, man. It's been a long time since I fished, but I have plans to do that down the road coming up too. Next year I'll probably do some fishing. And just for the record, I'm no good at it. And again, for the record, I just don't care. I'll go smoke a pipe and hold a fishing pole and whatever happens, happens. Generally, we just fish and throw it back. I can't even remember the last time that we ate anything that I caught. I just like the time doing it and the peace. And if we had something super close, then I would probably fish and use it. If we had a lake like our own or something, but my brother loves fishing, so maybe he and I can get together and do some fishing. But it'll be good. And I used to not like cold weather too much, and then it just came to a point that I ended up having a lot of good memories when it was cold. Um, I enjoyed it. Usually, everything I did was peaceful. Sometimes you get it where trees are just right, and they got this frost, and the sun's coming through the day, and yeah, I love weather like that where it feels like a winter wonderland. Where there's fresh snow, foot or two deep, and there's no tracks other than maybe wildlife. I love that. That's about heaven for me. And then as long as I keep warm enough, that's part of why I always picture if I could live in a cabin near some woods and maybe enjoy some sea nearby, have snow around. I think that'd be awesome. If I ever win any kind of lottery, then I'll have a winter cabin somewhere. Oh, okay. Gerald says, so I made up my mind going to do a video for YouTube and Rumble. There's nobody on it lately, so might set a trend going. That's true, buddy. My fat cat is DDT says my fat cat is viciously attacking me because she wants treats. Ganji says, don't submit, Dan, dominate. Gerald says, oh, okay, he's gonna do a patrol and he'll be back. That's right. Catch them bad guys. Take out any extra anger you have. So you say, I'm smoking a pipe and you're interrupting it. Yes, OB. How dare you? You don't interrupt a pipe smoker. Because he'll sit there and think about what you said and did, and then he'll go after you. Or you don't want to get beat either with us while he's smoking it, because he'll stay totally calm to not scorch his tobacco and still beat you into the ground. That was the best part for me when I was in security, was just patrolling. Because if it was cold, we had winter gear and you stayed warm walking around. And I actually like times there was a lot of peace to it. Times there wasn't, but if it was bad weather, a lot of criminals don't weather. They like to stay inside. So it was kind of a break. The worse the weather was, the easier things were. Kung Fu Panda, eat your heart out. That the only thing that could make Kung Fu Panda better is if his goose dad would like teach him how to smoke a pipe and have those cool scenes. He's up in the air, slow motion kicking, and have a pipe. Have him go or retrohale while he's got the pipe in his mouth. That'd be awesome. I liked those movies. I really liked the second one was hilarious, but that red when they glare on those wolf minion dudes' shoulders, that bothered me. But I did really like those movies. And they had a game that was really fun. But I always picture the dad. What is it I usually say if we're cooking and I'm joking? Oh, if we're cooking noodles. I always joke about the noodles in the Goose Dude's voice because it's fun. So you think the room smells good now?
Yeah.
I like it. That's because that was one of my blends.
Mhm.
But so was the stinky one.
Yeah.
Dan said she hasn't heard. He's referring to his cat. He said she hasn't heard that you're not supposed to bite the hand that feeds you. Then he put a little kitty symbol. Yeah, my problem is if the cat were to ever bite me, I couldn't even threaten to not feed it. Or if I did happen to threaten to not feed it, I'd still go feed it. I grumble a lot, I'm gonna throw you outside, you worthless cat. It's a good thing my wife's here because that cat and the dang cat would not do good outside. We've tried taking him out, the Latakia Dave, we tried taking him outside, and he loves if you're holding him and he feels secure and he's smelling the air and listening to wildlife. He likes that.
We have all the special.
But we've got the special cats. But he he does not like it. He goes hides under the deck. He does not like outside. But he spent a lot of time as an indoor cat when he was rescued and before. And he's just a great indoor cat. He's not an outdoor cat. He wouldn't have instincts to survive real well. He'd probably end up getting hit by the one car a day that passes here. And I don't want to bury any animals. Over the years, we've had occasional cats show up that were sick. And sometimes they get, a little kitty cancer thing going on. Or they got some kind of, sometimes cats can get a cold and they just can't recover. And it's sad. We've had to do a lot of animal funerals over the years, and I don't want to do any more. We like a person funeral here. Say a nice prayer for them, and we on the goodness they provided and laugh about the times that they did things. So it's very, very nice and peaceful. It wears you out. And you get the occasional, you find somebody's cat in the car and just had too much. Dan says his cat only goes outside in the backyard on a long, stretchy tether, sorry. Free roaming cats are against the city bylaws here. So you have to have I got you. He's got him on a long leash. That's what he meant. And yeah, city bylaws, you have to have them sometime, tied up or harnessed in some way. What cities? Isn't it like outpost to outpost? Yeah, they do that in town here. Hey, Patrick, see you again, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But we've got cats. They're free roam, but they're not our cats. We got neighbor cats that show up. A lot of times at my mom's, there's one that show up when I'm out there smoking and come hang out in the garage while I'm there. And then, or try to jump in the car and be taken home. One of them, I said, you jump in the car again, I'm adopting you. He got his paws up on the car like, don't tempt me, I'll do it. But he got down and went home. But I don't really know about the laws where we are in the town nearby, because I see cats. I've always seen alley cats here and there, and then nobody's ever done anything. But people are really good about letting our humane shelter know, and most of the animals here do end up getting rescued, so that's really good. Buffalo Trace bourbon. I have not had that. Not smoking at the moment. I gotta smoke a cigar or something. I think it's a good night for that. I'm gonna do a CAO cherry bomb cigar. Nice flavor, nice sweetness, not too harsh on you. I'll have to do that, Patrick. I won't be buying any alcohol or anything for a few months, but when I do, I'll have to check it out, buddy. I need to get something like scotch or bourbon and just try something different. I just don't drink a lot. You know, I know you guys have seen me do shots here and there, but I really don't drink much. I think I've only done 2 shots off camera in the last year. Occasionally a little wine, but honestly, when you guys have seen me drink, that's really all I drink. I've never been a big drinker. At one point in time, I did get a little carried away almost with beer, but I mean, my carried away is I had 2 beers. So, hey, Cascadian, good to have you, brother. I actually started blending some Cascadian Falls tonight, and the tobaccos I wanted to use were out of reach, and we were in a good chat, so I just didn't do it. But I got a couple in a bowl, and then I looked for them. I'm like, oh, they're over there. So I ended up using them in some other stuff. So that is one of my favorite blends, which I still have to get out to you. See, I've got stuff to send over the next few months. I got to get tampers, man. I got all sorts of stuff. And the biggest focus we've got right now is my shop, which most of you know. And once I get that done, then everything will fall into place. Yeah, it wasn't anything other. You know, it was basically we were in Google Meet and people were talking, and so I was just trying to be there and be respectful. So I didn't want to lean over real far, just walk out when someone's chatting. That is very true. In fact, Patrick, I thought of something cool. I was thinking of you the other day. I watched this deal. This guy was talking to his son or somebody. His son, I think, was late 20s. And he said, I want you to try something. Because his son picked up some whiskey or something, and he said, I don't know how they can charge so much for this. Absolutely, Patrick. I got one I need to finish, and I've realized that with the weather especially, I need to get our shop finished so I can finish up those tampers, because I ran into weather. Had some days I didn't feel good. Then I had some times I didn't have money to send stuff out, and I once that shop's done, I'll have a warm place. I can work on that stuff and finish up the other tamper and get them out to you. Oh, well, congratulations, Cascadian. That's good. You're going to close, and hopefully everything goes really smoothly for you. I know that can be tricky. Yeah, I got the snake one started. The other one is done, but I want to send them together. and the second one has started, and it's just kind of at a standstill. You know, I could work on it when it was nice enough, but if I get too warm or too cold, it just causes more issues. So we'll get the right environment, then I can sit there and work on them good, be done fast, and then it'll be real. Then I'll be back in business, so to speak. I've got all sorts of stuff, and I can't wait to show you guys the shop. Like, you guys, maybe I should have shown it. I'll have to show you sometime. But the difference just made today working on it with my dad was very notable. We got a whole bunch done. And once it's up and going and insulated and everything, I can have tools handy, and I'm excited because I'm going to be working on a lot of stuff. I got pipes I want to make. I got one I want to continue and finish up. I want to jump into pipe making and tamper making, wooden tampers too. And I can't really run power tools, especially with any vibration and stuff can set off seizures. So when my dad's able to help me more, then we'll, and especially with the warm insulated shop, he'll be in there more, and we can have a lot of fun and get a lot of stuff made. So it'll be really good. I'm excited for it. It'll be a big transition. It's something I've wanted a long time, and that is a good one, Cascadian. I don't know. It may end up being like when my mom has sold pipe bags. It may end up being under that. I'll be making pipes with my dad, and I think he'll sell them, which would be fine with me. I'd just be happy to make them. Well, thank you, Gerald. I'm honored, buddy. I'd be pleased to. But I don't know what the company would be called. I mean, my dad had my mom for the pipe bags is SV Creations. So it'd probably be under that or something like that. I don't know what the name would be. I didn't think about it actually. But I was just showing off a bit ago before some of you joined. The one I had started, but I just have nowhere to sand it. The weather isn't good for sitting outside and sanding. The shop isn't warm enough. All Briar's, that'd be pretty cool, actually. Oh, but I've got some cool surprises too. I'll have some briar pipes and some other materials to make pipes out of, and I'm excited. It's going to be a really nice thing. All bowled up. That's a good one too. Yeah. But my dad is a heck of a good woodworker, and I used to be. So between us, we should be able to come up with some good quality pipes. And the nice thing is, the best thing about pipe smoking is whether you're interested more in blends or you're interested more in pipes, everything you use, everything you do, everything you smoke or smoke from, you gain experience. So you start to learn the ins and outs of, okay, what makes a good pipe a good smoker? Like, what makes the pipe itself a good smoker? Bold designs. That's a great one. Yeah, there you go, Dan. Yeah, all Briar's. I like that too. And the bold designs. Maybe the bold designs could be like or bold Briar's. Yeah, that'd be good too. Man, you guys are on a roll. I don't know, but it'd be cool. We're gonna have logos. Hopefully, we'll have stickers. So it's gonna become something pretty great, I think. Um, my first thought is make high quality, very affordable pipes. That's the first step. And then maybe when we get good at it or we decide to do a series of something, we could do some higher end, better ones that are, but I like the idea of pipes that people can afford easily that smoke as good as possible. So that's going to be the main focus. Cuz I get so sick of seeing $150 pipes and then hearing any negative feedback on them, and I think it's asinine. I think they need to make sure they're selling good stuff for that kind of money. And some of my best smoking pipes were cheap pipes. I think my best smoking cheap one I think was, I remember if you spent a certain amount, so I got 2 pipes at the time. Um, on its own was like $40, something like that, maybe 30. And it was a basket briar, and it ends up, it was one that after it smoked for a while, it's a great, great pipe now. Yeah, that's a very good point, Cascadian. And if I can find a way to make them efficiently and in a reasonable time, especially if my dad's helping and can use wood turning stuff or whatever to get the holes drilled right, that'll be the biggest thing. I don't mind doing the handwork and sanding them because I like that aspect a lot about it. Um, I like the handmade stuff. I like when I go and look at pipes and I know, like by Phil Rivara and stuff, that they've been worked on, that they have not been just factory made, blah, blah, blah. Um, that's what really appeals to me. So I want to do that when I make them. But once the shop's done and it's wintertime, that'll be the best time, especially for my dad to be there making them with me. So if we get the drilling down, we'll make a test pipe, and if the drilling's down, um, then we'll go from there. Then we'll figure out designs. But yeah, it's gonna be good. He's been doing woodworking and craftsman stuff for all my life at least. Long, and I love Rhodesians. No, but he's talked about it. My brother's going to be smoking a pipe. That's actually, you guys will get to see something really special he's got from me coming. And he's wanted to smoke pipes for a long time and hasn't gotten into it, so I get to introduce him into that. And then he knows a guy that grows tobacco, so we're going to be in a pretty nice position there. And yeah, my dad doesn't smoke pipes, but my mom's dad did. His dad did for a short time. His uncle did. And now his son does. So I'll have to make him some kind of blend. I'll maybe make some sort of a Balkan crossover, that because I made a very successful cherry English. But I could alter that and make like a creamy cherry blend and have that be my dad's first try. Yeah, I figured it out thanks to chatting with Phil Cascadian, and it's going to be spectacular. But I'll get him in a video. I'm going to tell him, this is your gift, but you got to open it in a video with me. And so you guys will get to see me and my brother, and you'll get to see his first pipe. It's going to be amazing. He's getting something really special. Huh?
He wants to be in the video.
Well, that's going to be the deal. He has to be in the video or I keep the gift. I don't see him arguing. He's pretty realistic. Get him to start a channel? Yeah. I don't know if that'll happen. He could easily do a really successful channel. He is a master when it comes to mechanics and motorcycles. And he knows things about cars that most people don't know. And he used to be in lowrider competitions. He had hydraulic lowriders. He's just busy a lot. So that'd be the hardest part, would be the time. But if he could be from time to time in my channel until things settle down and he's comfortable with it, then that'd be a pretty cool thing in the future, having me at a channel. Patrick says, "Hey, Mabu."
Hi.
She says hi back in case you couldn't hear it. Yeah, I got, bulldogs, Rhodesians. I love them. Billiards. I like about any pipe, really. This is my second pipe. This is one of my favorites. And this one got better. This is the one I was talking about. It was a basket briar. And no, this one was $40. And it's a great smoking pipe now. It just needed some more smokes through it, and it's really, really good. Doesn't gurgle, doesn't have any issues anymore. And Gerald says, "Hey, Mabu," too. Oh, cool, Cascadian. No, I actually noticed that one. Because when I got the notification and got on, it had been done for a while. And I was like, dang, I didn't realize he was doing one. Well, if you decide to do a regular live, or feel like there's a day you want to do it, just let me know, man. I'll try to be there. We could, and it's cool. My brother's got so many stories. He's such an interesting guy. He'd be perfect for a channel. I'm not too entertaining. It was short. Yeah, we'll support you, buddy. I can't rely on notifications, I'll tell you that. So definitely keep us in mind when you're going to do one, because I often find out after the fact, and it's disappointing, and it's not because of the guy doing it. It's because the notifications are weird. Sometimes I get them 6 minutes after it ended. It's telling me they're starting. Then sometimes I get one that's 40 minutes after the fact, or even 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, well, what good does that do me? I'm like, oh, hey, cool, they're live. It's like I go in and I'm like, open the room and nobody's there. Like, well, thanks a lot. And sometimes it'll say live. It'll glitch and say live when they've already done it and gone. It says it ended, streamed however many minutes ago, but it'll still say live like it's still going. The other day I looked at one, it said 6 watching, and nobody was there. It wasn't even running. I forgot how good these are. This is a CAO Cherry Bomb cigar, and it's got a nice amount of sweetness. Doesn't really taste like cherry. You'll smell it in the room note a bit, but it isn't. There's not really like a chemicalness that you can get from some pipe tobacco blends. Smells when you're drawing in and you smell it, smells fantastic. It's a really good cigar. I don't remember the sale I got on them, but they were very reasonable during that sale. Yeah, if you decide to do, no matter what, whatever works for you, whether it's once a month or once a week, um, I'll make a video and advertise it for you. And yeah, Briar Report is awesome. They show my stuff on there and several other people's, and there are a lot of people that go there. I don't end up going there to look because I usually just kind of know who's live now, the main schedule. But Mike at Briar Blues starting this next year, I guess, is going to be moving to Sundays, and it was like 6 or 7 Eastern is what he's talking about, something like that. Because I can't remember if he said 5 Eastern or if it was 5 my time. But he's moving his from Thursdays, so there's a slot there. Yeah, as long as you're yourself, man, that's the number one thing. That's true, Patrick. You'd get subs that way. I've gotten subs from that, I'm sure. I've gotten subs from people shouting out a video and somebody they know subs because they saw the shout out or the live or whatever. It's awesome. Then you just have more people, more fun, man. The nice thing too is, like I said, as long as you're sincere and you're gonna do fine. It's when people are trying to be fake or trying too hard to be something more than who they're comfortable with being that they run into issues. But as long as you're happy with how it goes, then that doesn't, nothing else matters. I've had lives that are 20 minutes. I've had lives that are 4 hours. You'll get people viewing them most of the time anyway. And when I started last year and I started making videos, okay, so it must have been around 5 my time when I watched him and I misassociated it. That sounds right. So yeah, 7 or so Eastern. But if you're just being you, you'll be fine. But I did my first video, and the way I looked at it was, man, if I can share one pipe and I get one response, and me and one other person can share a pipe, that's good enough. If you start with that, then whether one week you get 2 views or another week you get 10 views, it makes you feel good. Oh, we had a competition for a bit there, Patrick. He didn't like that I beat him in time, so he did an extra long live and beat me finally. But with the seizure meds I'm on, I sometimes can get away with going to bed earlier than I used to. So, I could stay up and do a 5-hour live or even more. But now, usually around, what time is it now? Usually about hour and a half from now, I can settle in for the night, either lay down or at least sit here or sit in my couch and have my feet up for a bit, use a pipe before bed, and then I fall asleep pretty well. It's got to be the right time though. It can throw things off if I wait too long or go to bed too early. Oh yeah, that's a good idea though. Wait till the move so you can be more established with it. And you can always put test live, or you can always, you can do a random live. And then you do what you're comfortable with. I've had days where I wasn't scheduled to do a live and I just did a random one and they turn out great. Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, that too. It is a little more fun to have a pipe with you when you're making a pipe video. Oh, honey, where Paul's at, it's 5:30 in the morning. Good for you making that coffee. Coffee sounds good. I had some today. It was pretty good. I went to lunch with my dad and my neighbor, and they brought my coffee, and everybody there must drink black coffee because they didn't bring me sugar or cream or nothing or offer. They just gave me the coffee, but it was good. Geez, buddy. So you're 7 hours ahead of me. Just wake up at silly times. I understand that. Well, this morning was tricky because I woke up at 6:30 and I was like, "Oh, this is great." And then it ended up being a rough morning. It was like, well, against my will, I had to go back to sleep. I know sometimes that's a good thing. It feels good or it sounds good, but sometimes when you want to be up and you feel like you should be up and moving and then you can't, it's rough. You feel like you're in prison in a way. Pull the piper. I will say I'd take night shift of security over night shift in nursing any day. One place I worked at, this isn't all places, but one place I worked at, the residents of a nursing home, well, it was more of a facility. It wasn't really quite a nursing home. It was like there was a lot more to it. That's right, brother. And also, that is one thing I'm so thankful for. That is one of the beauties of the YTPC is I get to share pipes with a guy from, guys from Ireland and Australia and Canada and different parts of the United States. Um, yeah, it's awesome. Britain, Israel, I can't think, Tasmania. It's fantastic, and it just shows that you can have good friends. One, you can have good friends online, and two, you can have them from anywhere in the world. In Finland, thank you. I could not think of Finland to save my life. And Switzerland. You doing all right?
Yeah,
Did you hear the cat snore?
he's over there.
Then he opened his eyes like, I wasn't snoring. What are you guys looking at? Pfeifenfreunde. Yeah.
I bet he is tired because he waited for you for a long time and never reclined your.
Yeah, I didn't have my footrest up
And
tonight, so
just now laying down.
the cat's thrown off. He's taking a nap on the. Yep, in Israel. That's right, buddy. Yeah, my cat's napping on the bed. When I smoke, he loves to be on the footrest. So after this, I'll go sit on the couch, put the footrest up. I worked with this awesome lady. She moved to see family, and it was a point where she had to move kind of quickly. Once she told her landlord she was moving, the SOB gave her no time. He said, "Get out." And she moved quickly, and she was kind enough to kind of show her friendship to me and Mabu at the time engaged. And she very generously gave us this recline, each side inclines. And it's a lot of space, but it's very comfortable, full size. And, couches and stuff that are mostly wore out.
Yeah, but we had that sectional, which was nice, but then it was just.
That was, yeah, that.
Well, no, it was just too bulky.
Yeah, and that was the worst. We had this sectional. So my brother had this sectional. It was a really nice one when he got it. I think he overpaid for it, but we got it for him for next to nothing, or got it from him for next to nothing. And even though we loved it, it took up so much space. When you sat on it, it felt enough room. Felt off the cushion, but then at the same time, it's just took so much room, and so we ended up getting rid of that, and then we had another couch. So a few moves. It had been, Jose in Chile. That's another one. Thank you. I don't want to leave anybody out. I just can't always recall quickly. Oh. Thank you, Cascadian. I did used to take German. I forgot a lot. I can read it very easily. That's the best thing I can do with it. I can't, and I usually know what the words mean, but just to speak it freely, more thoughts. And when I got a lot of memory issues, so I can't. I have to rethink of what I'm gonna say and say it out. Even then, it's very difficult for me to get the thoughts to line up. German. Freund. Yeah, Freunde. Pfeifenfreunde. Pfeifenfreunde. Yeah, that's right. Just took me just a little bit, but I love German, man. You could say things, you could greet people and make it sound like you could say bad things to people in a nice tone. So there's a tone, or there's a term Cascadian may know. Americans trying to speak German. There's a term, and this isn't to you, so don't take it this way, but there's a phrase, "Buch dich." And me and my friend used to laugh because we talk about it in German class. Yeah, after class, we'd walk out. We'd go, you could wave and be nice and go, "Buch dich," and you're saying something terribly mean. You'd say it to a tourist and mess with them, and they think you're greeting them until they look up what it says. Very good, Dark Lord. It's always a good night to have you here, buddy. I used to. I was when I first took German class was in high school, it was my senior year, and I had done all my difficult classes. We went to block scheduling. I had done all my difficult classes the first 3 years. And so the end of the year, we had 7 classes. So one day we'd have 3, one day we'd have 4, and it alternate. And it was awesome because my hardest class I was very good at was English, English composition, and then we had and I was able to be in the higher up of that stuff because I was good at it. Or I was a really strong point for me. And then German. So I had like one day I had like band, or I had one class. I had English, then I had band, then I had lunch, then I had art, and then that was my day. So I had like an almost 2 hour long lunch period because I had free period after lunch, and a lunch back then used to be longer than it is now. And then my other days they ended in German. I don't even remember the other classes. I think one was science, something like that. But it was a really nice year. I was burnt out of high school. I had bad relationships. I was just done with everyone there. Done with people that weren't respectful to other people, just over it. And I did very well that year grade wise. I just outgrew the high school. I was done. And so we did German class, and I'd study the whole chapter, learn it, master it, have it down pat by the next day I had class. So in class I could really interact with everything the teacher was doing. And I remember the end of the year I took a test and I got a 97. And I was like, that's not good enough. Even though 97 was, an A, it was still really good. I said, that's not good enough. Can I retake it? And he said, you don't need to. He said, your overall grade's still going to be a 98 or something. I'm like, that's not good. Can I redo it? And he let me redo it, and I did better. And I go, which ones did I miss? And he goes, I don't need to tell you that. And I go, no, I need to know. I need to know. So finally he caved and he told me, and I'm like, oh, I knew it. But I retook it, did well. And he said, man, if you go after life like you're doing this, you're going to have no problems anywhere you go. And the last time I took German class, the first college I went to didn't have it. They had it the year before, of course. Then the next college I went to, they had it, and I did great in there. And I loved it. We had a lot of friends. Yeah, I liked block scheduling because it gave me that extra day. Because I would go home and do Monday's homework, and if it was a longer assignment, if I needed more time, I had it. Wasn't due today. Tuesdays wasn't due till Thursday, and it really well with my mind. It worked fantastic. Oh, you were an exchange student. Good. Schleswig, yeah, Schleswig, whole side grade. Don't get much chance to practice. Same here. Let's see. I don't remember what muss means, but German something not perfect. So it's supposed to mean your German must not be perfect or something. Because sein is to be, or a way that is to be. Maybe it means German is not. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ah. one time One time I was at my friend's house and he said his sister came downstairs and we were listening to music or something, and he said, um, or she said, I need to, he goes, why'd you come down here? Just playing. She knew he was teasing, just playing the older brother role. And she goes, I just needed to get a pencil. She left the room and I looked at him and I and I said, ich habe einen Bleistift für deine Schwester. And gosh, he fell out of his chair, man. It was funny. That oddly makes me feel very good, Cascadian. Cascadian said, good job. Here's your gold star. He put a gold star and put a smiley face. I'm good with that, man. And it means a lot. It does mean a lot to me. When I first had West Nile, I had to reform sentences and stuff. And it was really difficult. I'm talking like if I was trying to say a sentence to somebody, I'd have to break down a couple letters in each word. I mean, it was very difficult to form words and do that like I'm doing now is a lot better, but it's still difficult. He said swine hunt. That makes me think of we had to do in my German class in college. Cascadian said it's only good because I'm a teacher. We put the magic in gold stars. Amen to that. That is cool. My brother-in-law is a teacher. My dad was a teacher. My mom was a teacher. She did nursing and then she did teaching, adjunct teaching at a college. My wife was a teacher aide. In other words, she was basically the teacher because she did really good. Anyway, we had to come up with a party. My teacher said, we're going to throw a German party is what the theme was. So she said, come up with a fun party. We'll read it with the class. Come up with invitations, that kind of stuff. And my party was a Katzenwerfen party, which for those of you in the chat who may not know, it means a cat throwing party. And and of course it was all sarcasm because I love sarcasm. That's my main type of humor. And and I said, you only need two things, a cat and a window. Oh my gosh, that was a good speech. That was a good speech. My teacher was laughing so hard she was crying. Oh my gosh. We had a guy that dressed up for his party, came as MC Hammer, and he had the right clothes for it. And he would have been a good actor. He played the part the whole day, like past the point of people being annoyed with him. He stuck with it. So I give him props for that, because even though I even got annoyed, he did very good. He could do the dances. He could do it all. It was fun. He had the boom box. Patrick's stepmom was a teacher. She was also a reading specialist. Awesome. Yeah, it was great. When is it? It's at this time. What day is it? It's this day. What items do you need? A cat and a window. A cat and an open window, if I remember right. So now the rest of this cigar will end up being in some sort of blend down the road. And I enjoyed that. So much, I'm going to smoke another one. Because it hit the spot. Yeah, my dad worked with kids for a lot of years. Squeaky bag. He worked with kids that just had major environmental issues. And what I mean by that is what you guys probably know. But for anybody that doesn't, I'll clarify. He worked with kids that Parents may have been in jail. The kids may have been abused. Parents might have been using substances. Really, really poorly destined kids, I guess would be the way I'd word it. Nothing going for him. And he'd usually, you can't reach everybody, but he'd reach more people than anybody else could. And he was awesome. To this day, he gets calls from schools. He even did some part-time work for a place. He was just a master of what he did. He's that way with farming. He's been that way with everything he's ever done. Yeah, that's what it was. He worked in an alternative school for a while before he got a job at another school. Then they had him doing a more of a folks class on it, and he did for 26. To hold my cigar like a pipe.
Yeah, don't break your hand.
Well, this one wasn't lit yet, at least. Lighted. Yeah, he was in an alternative program at one place for 10 years. Then he was offered a better position, better pay kind of thing, and switched to a different school, and he was incredible. He's always been able to help people fulfill potentials like nobody's business. Now, like I said, there are people that the damage is done and there's not much you can do for them, but he could recognize that and still find a way to work with them to get them through school. And he's had people through my lifetime, years after he's been done teaching, see him somewhere and come up and shake his hand or give him a hug and remember him and go, hey, you know, I joined the military and I'm out now and I've got a family. I just proposed to somebody, stuff like that. Really great stories from people. There was a girl that was just going to go nowhere. She got done with drugs. She was waitressing. She was engaged and about to get a house. I mean, everything was turning around for him. So it was incredible. Awesome, Patrick. That's true, Cascadian. And what's really messed up is the school started playing a lot of games with my dad. And he said, you know, he was going to retire a year later and he just bumped it up. Or he was going to retire earlier, actually, a few years. And he kept going. And he figured out which year was his last. But he was extremely disappointed because a lot of teachers would just give up on the kids. For example, one kid had a lot of issues. And this kid would be the kind of kid that would, on his way home, have to dig through trash to find his meal. So he didn't want to go home. He had a dad that was abusive when he was drunk, which was most of the time. And he might be locked in somewhere. So this kid had a problem with teachers closing the doors. Obviously and understandably, he was uncomfortable. The kid would tell them, I'm uncomfortable with the door being closed. And he'd be embarrassed, but he'd still tell them why. And they didn't care. Then when the kid had anxiety issues and panic attacks and freaked out, then they'd act like it was all his fault. And so my dad said, well, how about this? He said, I have to have my door closed from this time to this time because I have to. But you can go into this next room and work on English or something with them. And he worked with those teachers. And then when I have mine open, you can be back in. We'll open it. We'll only close it when we have to, and I'll work with you. He did that. There was another time a kid could not sit in his chair, and my dad said, "Here's the rule." He said, "As long as you're doing your work or you're reading, you have to be touching the desk, like the chair. I don't care how you sit." So a kid would lay on the floor and he'd have his foot up on the chair, but he did his work. He did his work and he was fine. But he had a lot of issues. My dad's students had tons of issues. And it was crazy because so one kid I went to school with, this was in middle school, would disrupt I had him in every class every day. He'd call people names, make fun of people, bully people. He was just a jerk. He'd bully teachers. He'd be really oppressive. Just that lousy personality that no teachers would stand up to. And some of the teachers that would stand up to it would get in trouble. And he was just being obnoxious to everybody. And he was picking on people, didn't care if they were boys or girls. And I remember he kept bugging me and some of my friends. And I told the teachers blatantly, each class, I said, "You got to do something about this kid because the whole class, every class is just dealing with him." And he did not have a bad childhood to begin with. He was just a jerk. And he was in my dad's class a lot for behavior issues, but it wasn't from some of the deeper issues that a lot of his students had. And I said, "Man," it's like, "one of you teachers has to do something. We've been dealing with this for a long time." I said, "If you guys do, because that guy can't come up to you." I mean, the guy stabbed my hand with a pencil outside. Came up behind me, stabbed me in the hand. I still have a piece of it in my hand. Nobody would do anything. And he was threatening people with uh, in pottery with the sculpting knives or whatever. And I said, "Enough is enough." And we were in computer day. And normally if someone says your mom's fat or whatever, I just rolled off my shoulder. That was the wrong day. And I walked over and I knocked him down. I hit him and that was it. And so he's laying on the ground calling me names. I go, "Man, you are not very bright because I just knocked you on the ground and you're laying down there yelling crap at me. You want me to kick you?" And they sent him to the teacher came back to the office and he just had me get back to work. And the next couple days he thought about it. He goes, "Your son did hit somebody. We got to do something." So he put me in my dad's room. And I already knew how my dad was. And I said, "Well, I got in there. I thought it was great." One teacher said, "You're going to regret that your whole life." And I said, I was there again. I said, "I'm only going to regret it. I'm only going to regret that I didn't do it sooner," which is true. And I got into my dad's room and I did my homework and was a model student. And everything was peaceful. Got all my stuff caught up. Everything was great. And life went on. And my dad laughed. He said, "I wasn't going to be mad at you for being in my room." He said, "That kid needed that a long time ago and no one would ever do anything. None of the teachers would stop him." And, I wasn't proud that I hit him, but somebody had to do something. And I told every teacher for a week solid in every class, 8 classes, 5 days a week. Finally on Friday it was time. Nobody did anything. And they witnessed it. Hundreds of students witnessed it. Just happened all the time. And so it was funny. I had to be in my dad's room, which is the room for kids with a lot of issues. So it was kind of funny. It was like ironic, but it was fun. What needed to be done. I got my homework done. Everything was fine. Like he had to be in detention or something because you can't just hit somebody and not have anything to show for it, which I understood. It was whatever. I see that, Cascadian. And that's true, Patrick. And that was the case. No one ever stood up to him. Once that happened, he was better in classes. That was it. He was better, and he wasn't always nice to people, but he was mean a lot less. He went to class, he did his stuff, and he left. He never caused any issues with anybody after that. No more threats. He had done a bomb threat at one point. I mean, he just wanted to threaten everybody. Finally, someone stood up to him, and then he quit. Yeah, he needed that a long time ago. he needed. I don't even remember the hand it was. I swear it was my right hand. Swear it was my right one. I didn't see it much anymore, but remind me next time, and I'll. Oh, I can kind of. You can't really see it much. It's just a little. I can see it now. It's just right here. It's been a lot of years. I mean, you guys probably can't even see it. I can barely see it myself, point blank, but it was dumb. It shouldn't have even happened. Thank you for being here, buddy. Oh, I was gonna say before you leave, Cascadian. Yeah, I had experienced that a lot. I think from elementary school to college, I probably had 5 extraordinary teachers, probably 10 really good teachers. Out of the dozens and dozens of teachers, I had some. I even had one in high school that was selling animal organs online while he was in class. So I did not have great teachers most of the time. And a lot of them would aggravate things. Yeah, they'd get you sent. If you didn't do anything, you'd get sent out of the room, but the guy causing problems would get to stay. It was silly. But you have a great night, buddy. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. Always a pleasure to see you and chat with you. So I look forward to the next time, buddy. And that could have been the case, Patrick, but I know a lot of the time he'd run away from home. But my dad told me way later when he was retired and there was no longer, it didn't mean anything. He told me, he said, there was no reports ever of any abuse or any home issues. The guy came to school, never behaved like he had home issues or had any physical signs. And not that I'm saying that didn't happen, because I know a lot of that stuff goes unreported because of a fear of repercussion. But he, a lot of the times when he'd go home, he'd go to someone else's house. He was hardly ever at home. And that I always took it as that he just didn't want to go home. He just did whatever he wanted to do. I don't think it was because of any of abuse. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about it at all. But just from what I read from him in classes and stuff, the few years I went to school with him, he get out of here. He didn't act like he had home issues. He just acted like he had issues himself, not being responsible, which, some cases you can go, the parents should have taught him. In other cases, I mean, you can have the best parents in the world have the worst kid, and you can have the best kid in the world have the worst parents. And hopefully he grew out of it. I don't even know. He's probably in jail, to be honest. He was not a nice dude. He was in jail for a while. He was in juvie for a while because he'd run away and just not tell anybody, so they'd report it. But Again, I don't know everything that took place in his life. I don't know what he was going through, what was going on in his head. Well, I have no idea, you know. I just know how he treated people at school, but I never knew him outside of school. But I am pretty excited. We're going to have not only a great new place to smoke and a great place to make things, but we're also going to have a nice warm place to be in the winter. And then I'm hoping to do some sort of giveaway down the road soon, maybe in a few months. Um, I've been on YouTube now for a little over a year, been pipe smoking for 3 years, and it's been awesome. And so I'd like to do some kind of giveaway coming up. It's going to be a special one. Um, some of what will be involved will probably be some of my blends, ones that I haven't sent out to anybody. I don't know, I've got some, but it's going to be a special one. I just have to figure out what the theme is going to be, what the parameters will be. So, I'm at 400 subscribers right now. I'd like to maybe get to 800 and then do a really nice giveaway. Um, so that might be what I shoot for. But it's going to be very good. It's going to be very, very good. Don't want to give too much away, but I'll say I'm working on something with somebody. That's all I can say. But that you guys will hear more on it down the road, because I don't know exactly when it'll take place. But I don't believe it'll be any earlier than sometime in like late February. So it'll be a few months. It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year. No matter what happens with anybody, it's gonna be a good year. And prayers to everybody going through stuff right now. I have to say, because I don't always remember to say it in lives, I might say it in a video, but anybody going through stuff, especially Corvette Jim losing his wife, prayers to all of you, and I hope you guys stay in good health and your families do too, and hope you can have a nice Christmas, nice, comfortable. I mean, we all love to give and you love to receive, but beyond all that, I hope it's a very, very relaxing, comfortable Christmas for everybody. Thank you, Patrick. I am too, man. It's gonna be a really special one. It's gonna be really a really special one. Yeah, I didn't realize his wife passed. Um, I had heard about a rough turn, but I have not been on video on seeing a lot of lives or videos lately. Um, so I was out of the loop, regretfully, but I appreciate you letting us know and mentioning it. And you can only know when you hear it, so it helps that someone brought it up, because I had no idea he lost his wife, and that is, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't even wish that on people that had spouses that weren't good or that they didn't get along with. I'd rather them divorce or do whatever they got to do, but I would not wish someone losing a spouse. That is, because no matter what, that is terrible. Even my aunt, whose husband would have rather seen her live on the streets, I would not wish her to lose him that way. I don't feel she should have married him long, 30 some years ago. But what's done is done. She made her choice. But I still wouldn't wish a person to pass or have that happen. That's not right. And I didn't know Corvette Jim's wife, but he's a great guy, and she must have been a good woman to deserve a great guy like him. So just off of that it was a huge loss. And I ask one more. I know that I feel terrible for asking. Um, okay, I was gonna ask you where you heard from. I feel so bad because sometimes I always like to know what's going on so I can get asking for prayers and stuff right away. And so I do feel bad I didn't know. But you said it happened yesterday, so you know the best time to hear bad news is yesterday, so to speak. Okay, curmudgeon Piper. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. That's rough, man. And my brother and I was telling you guys about, who's gonna be smoking a pipe soon. Um, he and I had a lot of the same luck. We dated the wrong people, and it led us to the right people. And if I were to lose my wife, that'd be the loss of a that'd be the loss of the era. That'd be the loss of the cosmos for me, because she's everything. Okay, I was kind of thinking that when you said that, that's what I was thinking was that he asked somebody to do a video. That was extremely thoughtful of him to ask somebody to do that, because of course you've got to have the understanding that you don't share too much if you're dealing with something in your personal life. You do what you got to do. And of course, we all care about everybody, so we like to know. Um, but that still doesn't give us the right to know, unless the person chooses to share it. But it does help when they do share it, because then we can all do everything we can, from prayers and messages and best wishes, and or to the people that donate, stuff like that. It helps us know, so we can, that's part of a community. If the community knows, the community can support and try to help out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's everything. When my wife and I met, one look was all it took. We knew that's who we were going to marry. And then before she could come to her senses, I got a ring on her finger so she couldn't escape. There you go, one. Yeah. That was good. That was good timing on that comic relief, though. I'll give you that. Yeah, it's more than a comfort or being used to with somebody, but yeah, she's a freaking angel. I can't picture anybody that would have stuck with me through my BS, and I couldn't have pictured sticking with somebody that wasn't half as good as she is, which is why I hadn't married anybody else. I was stubborn and I waited for the right person. Even though it was difficult, I tried. I had times I wanted to go after other people. I met her and it didn't work out, and that was good. And a lot of times I saw some red flags and I was like, no, this is not a marrying person. I'm out of here. But I've never had a single red flag with Mabu. That's awesome, Ganji. Ganji's been with his wife 25 years, married 22. So
Cool.
Corvette Jim,
Was down here.
yeah, lost his wife from COVID, and she had a heart issue, and then things went downhill fast. So that's what happened.
COVID likes to go after
Heart and lungs and kidneys and stuff. That's wicked. Oh, there you go, DDT. He goes, your BS and IBS. Well, I'm gonna go take it easy. Mabu's ready for bed, and I need more beauty sleep than she does, but I already know mine's a lost cause. Well, because I need to be beautiful. But I thank you guys for being here. It's always a pleasure. It's been good to talk this stuff out. Always helps, and it's always been good. It's been fun, guys. So you guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy your week. Depending on the weather, I might get to be on more the next few days than I was. It's just whatever I can work on, I'm going to work on, because I really want to realize my garage dream, my pipe dream as well. But thank you guys. Thanks for being here. And Ganji, thanks for being and Patrick, and those of you who were in the Google Meet, thanks for being there. And we got to see Kevin Twiner in there for the first time, which was awesome. But thank you guys for being here as well. It means a lot, and it makes Tuesdays awesome for me. It really does. Oh, Patrick said from what he heard, she suffered a heart attack. In the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and then having COVID made it work. Okay, yeah. That's what I gathered. I didn't remember it being in the ambulance, but that helps clarify for me. Yeah, Patrick says good night to me and to you and to everybody. You guys have a great night. I don't even remember how to say good night in German. Gute Nacht. Something like that. I'll have to freshen up on my German for that German trip. I don't know when I'll take. But who knows, with COVID, I might be 50 by the time we go to Germany.
50?
Yeah.
No, that's not that.
Quiet you. I know what you're about to say. That's 17 years.
No. I don't think you'll be 50, though.
She said that's not that long from now. That was almost a low blow. It got chillier in here. Thanks a lot. Oh well.
I don't care.
She's like, I don't care. I'm petting the cat. I'm going to bed. You guys take good care. God bless you guys. I hope everything goes really well. Oh, Patrick says, when life treats you bad, grab a pipe and we'll get all Briar'd up together. You got it. Guten Nacht. Okay. It was Guten. I kept wanting to say Guten. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Guten Nacht.
Do you hear him?
He's purring loud.